Daniel, Lizzie, myself, and we're welcoming back Niajae, the beautiful entrepreneur and influencer, and we're so excited to have her back. She's going to have so much information to share with us, really valuable stuff. So stoked to hear what she has to say. But before that, Daniel wants to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the amazing downloads, the shares, the likes, the comments, everything that we have been getting, because I'm just blown away that how much our podcasts have grown this year. Compared to last year, that having over 1,000, more than thousands of downloads per each episode and listens, views and all that. So I just wanted to thank everybody for doing that, and we really appreciate it. And then if you like the podcast and you get at least one thing out of it, then I would highly recommend to go to our website and sign up for our FitBiz digest, because it's a digest that comes every single Monday into your inbox, and it summarizes everything that happened throughout the week. In the fitness industry, business industry, with books, with podcasts, with so many details to you, and it's just congested with laser focus down to basically that fitness entrepreneur, so they can receive it just on Monday. So it's not a junk mail, it's pretty short, keep it short. It has basically full 4 different segments broken down, and you will get it every single Monday. So if you like it, just go to my first and last name, which is danielmieri.com/fitbizdigest, and that's where you can actually sign up. And then there are going to be no junk mail, just once a mail, your digest. Now, all that being said, thank you very much for coming back again.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And I know that you have went to the 10X Growth Conference. Mm-hmm. So I guess let's start with, how was that?
So the 10X Growth Conference was amazing. It was a massive amount of value, and my brain literally has been on overload with how many takeaways. But I have 6 here that I wanted to bring up. But if anyone is not familiar with the 10X Growth Con, it's put on by Grant Cardone. He is the author of the 10X Rule. And he also wrote a really amazing book, Sell or Be Sold. So he is just a powerhouse. Like, he's a powerhouse. He has a massive empire. He does real estate and has online courses and pretty much everything. So he put together this massive conference inside of a stadium. And they said, oh, it's going to be 30,000 people there. And I'm like, there's no way. On Super Bowl weekend, there's no way it'll be 30,000 people. But it was 35,000 people in the stadium. It's the biggest business conference, I think, in the world, honestly. I've never seen or heard of one as big. Yep. And seeing the people, it was amazing.
Yeah, I was very surprised too, because I was like, oh, he's doing it on the Super Bowl weekend. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, and I was like, well, the people who are actually that serious about business don't care about Super Bowl, because I didn't care about Super Bowl either.
Yeah, so. I definitely didn't care about the Super Bowl, but seeing people there, that in the energy and everyone just like focused and hungry and just ready to like just level up their businesses, it was really amazing.
So what would be the number one takeaway? Do you want to go in order? What you have?
So I have 6, and I wouldn't say like number 1, because these are all like really valuable. So the person that impressed me the most is probably because I didn't know who he was prior to the conference, was Jesse Itzler. Okay, Jesse Itzler is actually married to Sarah Blakely, who owns Spanx.
I know. Yeah.
And so they're like my number 1 power couple right now. Like, they're phenomenal. But Jesse Itzler, he had a coconut water that he sold to Coca-Cola or something like that. But his book is called Living with a Seal. So he talks about the 40% rule. Our brains have a defense mechanism where when things get tough, it goes into protection mode. Like, okay, this is hard, stop, because it's protecting us from any pain or anything like that. But he says that when you get to that point to where you feel like you've given everything that you have to give, you're only at 40%. And if you can push past that, you have another 60% to give. So there's so many times where people just, they give up, but they still have so much more to give. And it's a really good reminder, because before this conference, I was feeling exhausted and burnt out, and I'm just like, I need a vacation. But hearing that, I'm just like, well, if I'm only giving 40%, where can my business go if I gave 100%? If you just push past that. And so his book is really, really inspirational. He's talking about living with a seal. The seal that he's referring to is David Goggins, and he's the guy who ran that 200-mile race. And he's very unfiltered, kind of aggressive and abrasive, but I've been listening to little snippets of his interviews in the morning, and it just pumps me up. It pumps me up. He's broken so many records, like the most pull-ups in, like, you know, a certain amount of time. So I know that you have a lot of followers that are like workout related, and so listening to anything related to David Goggins is going to pump you up, and like you'll be ready to work out and just like break some records, or just push yourself past what you think you're capable of, because we have so much more to give than what we even think. Like, we're powerful beyond our imagination. So just hearing that 40% rule. So anytime I get tired now, I'm like, no, I still have 60% to go. So yeah, that was really amazing. So the next one was Steve Harvey. He talked about your gift, and his gift is comedy. And so he says that when you really tap into your gift will make space for it, because so many people have make space for you. So many people have passions and things that they really want to do, but they're afraid to take that leap. But when you take that leap, it will work out, because that's your gift. If you're here to do a certain thing, whether it's inspire people, whether it's help people get fit, like whatever your specific gift is, once you fully commit to it, it will make space for you. Things will fall into place. And in reference to that, there was another speaker named John Maxwell, and he has 86 books, which I thought was like massively impressive, because most people don't publish 8 books, let alone 86, or a book, you know?
I was about to say 8 books, not 8 books.
Yeah, so he has 86 books, and he said, you know why? Because I write every single day. He said, Christmas, I write. My birthday, I write. If I'm sick, I write. I write every single day. So every single day, you have to work on your craft. And I have people that are just like, you do so much. You're always doing something. You're always recording. But I'm like, this is my craft. This is my passion. This is my gift. And you have to work on it every single day. So if it's fitness, you know, and you are helping people get fit, like every day, you should be doing something towards that, you know? So whatever your gift is or your craft, you should be working on it every single day.
Yes.
Because I know there's, and I think that it's really funny, because you have people that are just like, oh, you know, take time off and relax. But it's like, if you want an extraordinary life, you want an extraordinary business, you have to put in the work.
Absolutely. And not just that, what you mentioned is, but taking time off of what? If you're taking time off, you don't need to take time off if you love what you're doing to begin with. So it's just like asking people to take time off of something that you enjoy doing. For example, if you ask, not saying this is your craft, or let's say, I always bring this up because so many people are like, let's go out tonight, let's go party and all that kind of stuff, or let's go to this concert. And I'm the opposite of that person, you know, for example. So to you, in your mindset, because everybody starts from the focus of their own, you know, knowledge and what they know, in your head, man, he's always working so hard and he doesn't want to take off time to enjoy life. And I'm like, for me, going to a concert is not enjoying life, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, for me, it's if I can work on the book or you can work on the podcast with you today, I enjoy that and I love it and I get energized from it. So it's the same thing as I get energized from all the lights, flashing, the sound and everything, you know, I get de-energized and I'm like, oh, I just want to leave.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's really important that people find their gift and what they're passionate about, because that is what's going to make you want to work 7 days a week. Yeah. And when I say work, like work on your craft, because I do inspirational videos and I record videos every single day, but I enjoy doing it because it's what I'm passionate about. It's my gift. It's my purpose. And so I don't view that necessarily as work. I know that I'm fortunate enough to be able to create a life doing that, but I don't view it as work. If it was something I didn't enjoy doing, then I'd be like, oh, I need a day off, you know?
Yeah.
But work on your craft every single day and love what you do. Like, find a way to pick a career or business that you love and you enjoy.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's great advice.
So number 3 is never lower the target, raise the energy. So this was from Grant Cardone. So he says a lot of times we set goals and we lower them when we don't achieve them. So like, let's say if one of your clients, like personal trainers, wanted to train 10 new people and it's getting close to the deadline and they're like, okay, well, maybe I should just train 5, you know, to make it easier. So he says, never lower the target, raise the energy. So put in more work, like, and he kept saying, hit the list. So he has an email list and he emails a lot, like probably the most emails I've ever received from anyone. But he's like, I'm unapologetic about it. Like, if I feel like, you know, we have more people to get in these seats, hit the list. Hit the list. Keep emailing them because you want to stay in front of your audience and don't feel bad about it. So he's a huge sales guy, and I know sales is difficult for a lot of people, but he's like, don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Don't be afraid to ask for the sale. If you have a specific goal and you know that you're helping your clients, it's your duty to put that information in front of them as many times as you need to get them to buy whatever it is that they need to better their lives.
Exactly. Awesome advice. Make sure that everybody writes this down.
Every single thing she says needs to be written down and memorized.
All right, so then the next one. So this one is a little more, it probably isn't like a good like business tip per se, but Grant Cardone, again, he says there's 3 buckets of people in your life. You have the people that are with you, like your supporters, you have the others, and then you have your enemies. So we know who our enemies are. We know who are the people that just don't like us. You know, they don't matter. But the people that support you are the people that are buying your stuff, they're sharing your content, they're engaging with you. And then you have this ambivalent bucket of others, the people that say they support you. And he's funny, he's like, then buy my shit. If you say you support me, excuse my language, but you know, he's very unfiltered. But there's those people that say they support you, but are they buying your stuff? Are they sharing your link when you have a new book? Are they actually showing up to your events, whether it's online or in person? So he said those are the people that you want to worry about, and like really make sure that you're surrounding yourself with people that you know support you, because ambivalent people, they drain your energy. You're wondering why they say they support me, but they're not actually supporting me. So not being afraid to cut people out. So he took it one step further and he talked about employees and cutting loose employees that are kind of half-assing it. And he says that when an employee or like staff member quits, they've already quit in their brain probably a month or 2 prior. So really just knowing that if there are people in your life that are draining your energy and slowing you down, don't be afraid to cut them out.
I think he got it from Good to Great, like the book. I mean, there are so many books that almost every book says that. So yeah, and he read a few books as well. So I'm pretty sure he's a well-read person.
Yeah, so definitely a really good tip. So the next one is, this is more of like a personal thing for me. Surround yourself with like-minded people. The fact that there were 35,000 entrepreneurs there on Super Bowl weekend was really amazing to me, because I know when I have friends and they're like, girl, let's go out on Friday, and I'm just like, I'm working. Like I almost feel like, I don't want to say alien, but I feel isolated, and I'm just like, you know, why, sometimes I feel like why do I think the way that I think? Because I don't necessarily want to go out Friday. Like if I have something that I'm working on, like I want to work on that, and the success of having like a completed project is exciting to me. And then I'm like, okay, now let's go out and have a glass of wine or something. But really just buckling down and hustling and being around other people that want to do that as well, and they're hungry for success and they want an extraordinary life. Because if you just want an average or mediocre life, go out every Friday, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. But to see 35,000 people that are just like, I don't care about the Super Bowl, I am focused, I have goals, I have dreams, and I'm going to do what it takes to get it done. Being around that many people, just that energy, it relit this fire inside of me. So I highly encourage people to go to business conferences, go to different events with people that are like-minded to just relight that fire, because sometimes that fire does get dim, you know, and you need that push and you need that motivation. So it just was really amazing to be around that energy.
That's amazing, and that's why I wanted you to come out and then share that experience, so the people who didn't go or went, now they agreeing with you, you know, basically that what was their experience. And if you guys didn't go, then make sure you, well, obviously you listen if you got it this far, but if you didn't go, now you know why you should have gone to that instead of the Super Bowl. Not of course, you can always watch the Super Bowl. I'm not against that either, but it was an amazing conference. We didn't go actually because I was in New York for a new location, but we're working on our new location as well. But I wanted to go. It's because I know how amazing it was.
I listened to their podcasts so he has like 3 or 4 different ones, but I was listening on the G&E show, and Elena was just talking about like, oh my God, Grant, do you even know what you're about to do? No one does stuff like this. Like, you're so hot to me right now. And I was just dying laughing, but it was amazing. So I can't wait to like hear the next few episodes to hear them talk about exactly how it went.
Yeah.
It's a huge event.
So she is amazing. I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous, but you could just tell she's like strong and confident, and she has his back. And she got on stage. So this is not on my list, but I do want to share this. Okay. So she got on stage and talked about how he's abrasive and he pushes people and he doesn't care about people's feelings, but he cares about results. And so she actually got a little emotional because she said he wrote his book, Sell or Be Sold, in like, I don't know, like 4 days or something like that. And it took her like, I want to say, and I'm probably getting the times wrong, but it took her about 4 months to write her book, Build an Empire. And she said she was getting close to the 4-month mark or something like that. And he comes in and says, you're lazy and you're a coward. And I could hear the women behind me like, no, he didn't. But she said she was upset and she wanted to kill him. Yeah. But she said she went in her office and she finished her book. And she brought it back and was like, now I have it, you know? And so I found that story really interesting because there's different ways of motivating. You know, you have that positive reinforcement, but sometimes people need that fire lit under their ass to get it done. And so just that whole process was like really inspiring because you have people that coddle you and they enable you and like, oh, it's okay. But like sometimes you need people to be like, get off your ass, you know? I don't know if I should have clapped in a mic, but you need people to get that fire going in you to get it done. And if you don't have someone pushing you in your life, you have to find that.
Yep, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Everybody has one. And I was just talking about that too, that everybody needs a coach or mentor. Just because, we talked about it too with Michelangelo, that Michael Jordan had great ones, right? And they're almost every single pro athlete has a coach or a mentor. And every single pro business owner, I should call them pro, has basically a mentor or coach as well. So you get just a huge thing out of it to have somebody that can watch you from the outside and be that fire all the other side, just like how Grant was to Elena, yes. So it's just great to have. Is there anything else you would like to share?
There was one more. So Tai Lopez was someone that impressed me. He has a really flashy brand. He's always in, you know, a Lamborghini and in front of a mansion with models. And, you know, so it makes his brand seem superficial to some. And for someone like myself, I'm like, because I'm in that space of like digital products and coaching and inspiring people. And I'm like, people are probably buying his stuff because they're equating, if I buy his product, then I'm gonna have a Lamborghini and models and a mansion as well. And so sometimes I'm like, this is kind of difficult in this industry, but he got on stage and really dropped some real knowledge. He named a list of books. I actually have the recording on my business page. If anyone wants to check it out, it's Level Up Mastermind on Facebook, but I have the full recording so you can go back and see the books that he recommended. But one of the things that he said that I feel like was really powerful that people need to understand is you have to build a personal service brand first before you try to scale. Because right now there's so many programs that are like, buy my program and you'll make $100,000 a month, you know? That's not how it works. Yeah, it's not how it works. So he's like, there is a process that you have to take. You have to build your audience. You have to build this personal service brand. And before you try to scale some online program, you have to build, you know, just your following first. And so I thought that was really good because there's so much of the fluff, like, you know, look at me in my Lamborghini or whatever car, you know, fancy car, and buy my program and you'll be driving this too. And so that's kind of what I expected from him, but he really surprised me because he was giving like raw, valuable information. Step one, you know, build your audience, serve the people that, you know, whatever problem you're solving, serve those people rather than trying to automate your system first, you know, and buying into an automated program before you even build an audience.
What you just have said, actually, about Tai Lopez, what he shared, two things. And you mentioned he shared lots of books. I'm pretty sure at this conference he didn't mention my book, but on his social media, actually, on his Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook, he mentioned my book, and he recommended it to people, and that boosted actually hundreds of sales of my books.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, anyways, he recommended to all business owners, and had lots of personal trainers reach out to us just because of his recommendation.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. But the other thing is also that what you just said about you have to create this brand first. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk also says exactly the same thing, that first you need to get attention, and then once you get the attention, then you can work on your message should be on point. So you create a personal brand that he's talking about, and then once everything is on message on a point, then only then and after that, with the attention and the personal message, I mean the brand, and then after that you can ask for the sale. You know, so but most people just want to create a landing page, you know, and then start asking for money.
Yeah.
And that's what most people don't understand, because that's the easy thing to do. The hard thing is to build that brand that you're talking about. I mean, you're doing the videos every single day, we're doing the videos and all these things. It takes time, and not everybody can build a brand, just like not everybody can be an actor or actress, you know, or a pro athlete. But that's great. I'm very glad that you brought that up, actually.
Yeah, it's really, I think that the industry right now has so many programs that are like, oh, buy my program or sign up for my service and you'll have 10,000 followers in 2 days. But you're not building a real brand. So there is no quick fix. There is no, you know, you're going to hire this coach and it'll be done in a month. You know, you have to live that life and show people like, this is what I'm about, this is what I do, and engage with people. You know, you can't just post a couple of posts and sign up for a service where you get 10,000 followers in a week and expect these people to buy from you because they don't know you. You know?
The whole time we've been talking, this thought has been in my head that it's like the time for the entrepreneur, which has good and bad, right? Good because there's so many opportunities for the people who should and want to be entrepreneurs, but bad because then you have the wantrepreneurs and all the people doing it the wrong way. And it, you know, hopefully people are doing all of their research before they're signing up for things and whatnot. But,
yeah. And he recommends people read a book a week. And I was like, oh, I have to step up my game because I read a book. I have Audible, the 1 credit a month. I'm like, I need to step it up. I'm going to 3 credits a month. but I really want people to focus on the books that he's recommending and less on the Lamborghinis and the models. They're great. That comes with time, but focus on the books that he's recommending. Focus on the people that he's following. What's the guy who runs Amazon, Jeff Bezos? Yeah. So like, he's like, I study him, study the strategies behind it rather than focusing on how much money he has or what car he's driving. So I think that so many people are distracted with the flashiness that they're not really getting to like the meat of what got them there.
Exactly. You know, the CEO of Square and Twitter, which is, anybody knows right now? Because I have a brain freeze and I can't remember his name.
You say his name so often.
But anyways, Jack Dorsey, that's his name? So him, what you just said, to study Jeff Bezos and everything, then he became the CEO, because he was let go once as a CEO, and then he came back again as a CEO of Twitter, and now he started also Square. I don't know if you know Square, Okay, so it's very Apple-ish. The reason why I say very Apple-ish, because it's all white, it's very nice, comes in a really heavy box on purpose, just like Apple. And what I'm trying to say is that he actually spent, when I read his book, I mean the book about him, that it also said that he went straight on and he was studying Steve Jobs as hard as he can, and he picked up Steve Jobs, how he speaks, and so many things, like just how he carries himself, how he talks to people, and then so many things. He literally like copied Steve Jobs, and then in a good way, like, you know, not like the bad way, and he used that and created that company Square. Like cultural every way possible. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So that's a very good point, to study successful people, and I recommend that you study people that you would like to change places with, and not people, not family members who say, let's say, especially money advices, like when they are saying, oh no, you need to save, you cannot spend there, and don't go to this conference, it's too expensive, and that kind of stuff, you know, or whatever it is. Don't take the advice. Only take the advice from people who have done what you want to do.
Yes,
so that's basically it.
Yes, those are words to live by, because everybody has an opinion of what you should be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they're not living the life, like the worst thing to do is like get relationship advice from someone who's not in a relationship kind of thing, you know, or like someone who doesn't own a business telling you how to run your business. Like It happens every day, yeah.
You know, the book once a week, so that's how much I read, but sometimes that changes. One book per week, depending on what I'm reading and what do I need to do to take action on it. Because sometimes when you read lots of actionable books, then it becomes just too much information, you know, and you can't really take action on it, and then you just forget about it.
Yeah.
So I recommend what you said, the reading, and he said the reading one book per month, but only if you already know why you're reading those books and what you want to get out of it. But if you don't know those things, then I recommend that you read one book 4 times instead of like 4 books in 1 month. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because so many times when you read the book and you read it the second time, you find new things because your brain is a completely different state of mind.
Yeah.
So if you know what you're looking for, you will get that thing out of the book. You know what I mean? But if you don't know and just reading, you're missing out so much information. Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
That's a really good tip. Yeah, and implementation is important too. So many people, and I know there's people that went to the conference that are already back in their same routine or their same rut as before. So when you're reading these books, making sure that you are implementing what you're learning and you're taking action. Because you can go to all the conferences in the world, you can read all the books in the world, but if you're not implementing it, it's a waste.
Yeah. Well, we can go on forever, but we need to, we need to wrap it up. But these were amazing information. We're gonna create lots of snippets from it just to, share it everywhere. And then because all the messages that you have said were real amazing, and what you have learned was amazing, I feel like we got a free ticket for 10x because of all the information you have mentioned. So, I mean, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
One last thing, Parita. Do you know how many hours does it take to master something?
10,000.
Yes. Did you hear that? So you need to, if you create a podcast, if you even fitness or any knowledge of playing the guitar, whatever it is, it will take about 10,000 hours until you can be like, all right, now I know what I'm doing. 10,000 hours can take up to a few years, by the way.
They said around 3 years if you're working at it 3 hours a day. So talk about really dedicating. And then they set out 66 days to build a habit, but you're supposed to be consistent with it if you're trying to actually make a change that sticks.
Yes.
So guys, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll link in everything below as much as we can. Her website, our website, FitBiz Digest, everything. If you love this episode, or if you know someone who can get something out of this, which I think every person can from this episode particularly. So please share, please comment, please rate, and send us anything that you need to know or any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.